Welcome back to Geekshow Arcade.
Beep boop.
Beep.
Hey everyone, I'm so pumped to be here. I love you all, especially Owen.
Aw, hey.
That's nice of you.
Bizarro Jaren's here. Bizarro Jaren's here.
I like
Yeah,
that.
it's
I
not
like
real.
that I like that I could hear the random name ticker going in his head, and it stopped on Owen.
No, my eyes were literally like going through all of you. I'm like,
It was like,
yeah,
and
stop
I'm
on
glad
Owen.
that it's Owen.
It's like
It's
watching a
Owen.
game of Plinko with the name at the bottom.
Yep. I won that one. I feel pretty good right now.
All right, this is Geek Show Arcade, where we talk about video games and video game related things, the latest news of the week, usually. Let's kick it off by introducing our panelists. We got Lando.
Hey, it's me. It's Lando, the bestest.
Hey, Lando.
Hi, Tony. How are you?
Good.
How's your day been, bud?
It's been pretty good.
I'm glad to hear that.
That's enough of that nonsense. On to Lang.
Hey, Lando, if we try to reach you, we shouldn't use Discord, right?
Nope,
Should we
not
reach
at
out
all.
to you? Okay,
Text,
just checking.
email, anything's better.
Psychic palm reading.
Phone call. I probably would have answered a phone call, actually.
I'm Lang. Glad to be back. Just hopping in for kicks and giggles. Find me on Instagram, Gunplus Skyfire. That's what you can do.
There you go.
Nice.
Back from the land of almost not alive, it's Owen.
Hey, still alive. Yeah, that's
booyah.
me. Boo, yes, Grandma. So catch me here. It's where you're gonna get the best version of me. I medicate all day for this moment, just for you. To bring, I save all of my personal interactions, all of my social energy, just for these group of guys and you, dear listeners.
We appreciate that.
Yeah,
That's what I appreciate about you.
it's sad for
that what
everybody
you
else in my
appreciate about
life. My kids hate it. My wife, everybody else hates it. But on Tuesdays, I'm all your guys. I'm all your guys'. All right.
All right. And then we got Jaren, who's also
His hair is tousled.
here.
He's been
Hey,
Look at that look on his face.
This
I
is
don't even know
homeless.
what to
That's
say.
as homeless as
Were
Jared.
you
If you
okay,
didn't have,
bud?
if you didn't see those super expensive shelves behind him, you
If
wouldn't
you're
know that
listening
he had
to
a
this,
home.
go to YouTube and just look at this nonsense here.
It's a
saying
mess.
the L word really took it out of me. I don't know if I could do that again.
Look at him. He's just sapped.
I'm Jaren. You can find me on Twitter at Jaren. What are you going to say, Tony?
You get one use a week of that word. It's usually
Yeah.
reserved for your wife, but you gave it to Owen this
You gave
year
it to me.
or this
I'm
week.
Wow.
No, you're right.
So-
It's yearly. It's yearly.
Wow.
Owen,
Pretty,
congrats.
pretty good. I'm feeling high energy right now.
And we have a toast. His name is Honey. Whoa, I got that backwards.
Hey.
That was close. That was close.
Check
I
me
told
out
you
on-
I'm worn out now.
Check me out on X at Quad T Tony or on other Geek Show podcasts. All right. First things first. Do we have any emails?
We got a mini.
A mini email?
3.
A mini?
we have many.
A many, not mini.
Man, he is lost.
My minions are learning.
Yes. Got one from Johnny. He says, "Howdy. More Elden Ring talk, please."
Oh, well, actually, that is on the docket today.
Yes. I initially ignored Elden Ring as I'd always bounced off of Souls games due to difficulty, but eventually gave it a try so I could understand why people loved it so much. After some YouTube searches and other advice, I guess you could say I broke past the difficulty aspect, and I can say I have not been this infatuated by a game since World of Warcraft. Johnny, this was the exact same path as me.
That sounds like Jaren's origin story with this.
It's got to the point where I'm listening to lore YouTube videos. Okay, I didn't go that far.
They have those? There's no story in this game.
Hang on. Can we double check the email on this guy? Is it like
Are you
Jaren
sure it's
at
not Joe
Outlook?
Reedy?
Yeah, it's Joe Reedy.
Joe is short for Johnny? Joni? No, I don't think so.
You're into the fanfic already, huh, Jaren?
And he's listening to lore YouTube videos and buying art books and buying a Steam Deck just so I could play it on a plane. So yes, Tony, give it a shot, and then everyone can talk about it. My question is, I get the argument for physical media, but isn't it okay to pay $70 for the hours of an entertainment and experience you get out of it? I'm approaching 300 hours in Elden Ring and still look forward to booting it up each day. Also,
Thank you.
Lambo is the best host?
Wow.
I love this email so much.
He says Lambo, so you got to...
He was completely
Love it.
different.
Say you love it again. Say you love it.
I will change my name to Lambo if I can drive from now on.
Yeah. Lando
Okay.
needed that.
All
Lando
right.
needed that.
So his question about physical media, I'm okay with digital media. I've always loved digital media because I hate getting up and changing the disc
Absolutely.
or cartridge, whatever.
Was he asking
It's
about
the
digital
worst.
media or physical media?
He says, I get the argument for physical media, but isn't it okay to pay $70 for the hours of entertainment and experience you get out of it? I think he's insinuating paying that much for digital media isn't worth it.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat as Jaron. I mean, the convenience of digital media is just fantastic. Has its drawbacks for sure, because if you ever get to a point where the game's not supported anymore
There it is.
on whatever servers that you want to
still want it,
download it
yes.
and play, then there's a problem, as we saw with Ubisoft pulling
Yeah,
back on the crew. But for someone like me, that's not as much of a problem because I very rarely replay games unless it's right after I finished it and I wanted to play it again because I liked it that much.
a collector, right?
And I'm not a collector of games that much. I do like old school systems.
I'm the worst
And
kind
I-
of
and I
collector.
collect
I
a
like
few things
collecting
there.
digital games.
That's my problem
me
too,
too.
Jaron.
And if I lose access to them, that's future Jaron's problem.
Yeah.
know. Current Jaron doesn't care.
Current Jaren's just glad he got a deal on it.
Exactly. And the deals. But digital
deals.
media for PC is a bit different than digital media for consoles.
Yeah.
Because there really isn't physical media for PCs anymore.
Nope.
You barely even see computers with disk drives anymore. You know.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Well, more Elden Ring talk on the way.
coming up.
Got an email from Joey. He says, Dearest panel and Arcadians, if this email has found you, that means I'm already dead on the inside.
Oh, phew.
He'd fit right in.
This week, I stumbled across a LinkedIn post from Remedy Games, my favorite dev. This post was a eulogy for their WED, World Editor system, that Remedy had created for their games 20 years ago, memorializing the system and how it served them. I was very moved to see them share this. So my question for y'all is this. If you could hold a memorial for a game or franchise that has died but still lives on in your heart, what would it be? Then share some kind words and we will honor them with a moment of silence. Rest in peace, Soul Reaver and Legacy of Kain. That game
those
was
are
so good.
Great choices.
Legacy of
yeah.
Kain, Soul Reaver.
Those aren't dead. I've been seeing those on PC stuff.
No, you
Well,
can
they
still get the old
exist.
games.
They
They haven't
just
made a
don't
new one
make
in
them anymore.
decades, though.
Yeah.
So it's
I
effectively
loved
dead.
that game for the Dreamcast. It was so good.
Yep.
I don't play enough games to have a moment of silence for any.
So,
Whatever. Oh, and your moment of silence is for Ultima.
Oh, I still can play that for free though.
I have this
But
for
they
you.
don't-
Remember?
They're not
That's
continuing
right.
the
I have
franchise.
this physical.
That's true.
Yeah, but they're not continuing.
I
They don't make
think-
any more Ultima, so it's effectively dead.
Do they not?
No, they haven't made a new Ultima in, I don't know.
And you're a
20
host
years.
on a video game podcast.
UO.com. I thought that they are still making it.
Mine would be, though it kind of just validated itself a couple years ago, Wonder Boy 3 on the Master System. That's been like one of my favorite games of all time. But they made a new one just out of nowhere like 2 or 3 years ago called Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. That was a fantastic game, by the way. It was amazing.
I would say that mine is probably the Metal Gear Solid series because they say they're making more of them, but without Hideo Kojima doing it and his team doing it, you know,
Is it just a shell of
it's
itself?
just it feels like this is the only thing we have left as Konami that we can try and milk, and so let's try and do something with it. So it is effectively dead, Metal Gear Solid, if you ask me.
Moment of silence.
Did
Any
you have
others?
one, Lando?
No, I don't. I couldn't think of any, unfortunately. Sorry.
I got one.
Lang, what's yours?
Mine's gonna be. I loved SSX. the snowboarding game.
SSX was great. That's a good choice. I can
So
get
they
behind that.
had, because I feel like that's one of the only ones that you would take off the board and do the most ridiculous
on PS2?
anti. I think it started
PS2,
PS2,
Xbox.
GameCube. Yeah, it
I
started
had
there
that-
with.
I had that on PS2 and it was so fun.
So there was SSX, SSX Tricky, SSX 3, and then SSX World Tour, and they ended with World Tour. Oh man, I played that to death.
I think I
So
had Tricky.
so here's my virgin sacrifice to the snow god Ular in moment of silence. There you go.
There
I
it is.
almost forgot too. There was a car racing game series called Rush. And
That was a good one too.
had a blast with the Rush games, and after Rush 2049, they never made another one.
Is that the
was
one
a
you intentionally
fest.
crashed?
Oh, I remember those. Like it was made by Ubisoft on the PC.
Midway.
Oh, I'm thinking
Is
of
that the one
something
you?
else. Okay.
Is that the one you would intentionally crash? Rush?
Well,
Yeah.
no, that was Burnout, and
Burnout was great too.
Burnout's also dead actually.
Yeah.
Criterion, who makes that, makes the Need for Speed games now.
Yeah.
So and whatever EA tasks them with. So
I'm gonna go with Jedi Knight. That was such a fantastic franchise.
was it though?
What? Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I thought you'd go with the.
You know how to push your buttons.
Knights of the Old Republic would fall under that series, under that too, if you ask me. Knights of the Old Republic was awesome.
Well, there's a remake of that supposedly still by
Yeah,
Saber Interactive.
We'll see if it actually.
Yeah,
ever
we'll
What's
actually
that
sees
other?
the
What's
light
that
of
other
day.
games? What are those other games you like, Jaren? The thief, the guy you want to be, the treasure.
Oh,
Uncharted?
Uncharted. Yeah, they're
Uncharted.
dead.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's not dead.
Sorry,
That
bud.
you know,
Aren't
no,
they- I
that's
thought they were-
that's
I heard-
happening still.
I've heard very.
Was everyone's favorite movie, favorite franchise, favorite game.
That
It's
game
the
is-
best.
That
I
series
just
is
heard-
effectively dead.
Yeah, I've heard compelling evidence that it's dead. So, moment of silence.
Hasn't had a
for
heartbeat
that.
in years.
People are saying
Well,
what
if-
I am hearing.
That's
If
right.
it's not,
dead.
if it's not dead, it's a vegetable.
You know
So-
it. I know it. Everyone knows it.
Everybody knows it. All the things. It's dead. The most dead. All the dead.
All the dead.
All right.
All right. Thanks
Email
for writing
from
in.
Cody Laboucaine. I love saying that last name. It just rolls off the tongue.
Cody, Laboucaine or Labouche?
I think it's
Laboucaine. C-A-N-E.
Okay.
I'm
Okay,
pretty sure
okay.
that doesn't go Shay because there's an N
Ane.
there.
Labocane. I don't know.
Anyway,
Anyway, he says, "Hello, my friends. Cody here again. Just started watching the Fallout show, and it got me in the mood to play the games again. So I decided to load up some New Vegas, and I'm already lost in it. My question is, if you got to pick the location of the next Fallout game, where would you like it to take place? I would like to see them visit Utah again, like they did in the Honest Hearts DLC for New Vegas.
yep.
It was good to hear James and Lang on the podcast again. Always love hearing from them. Miss and of you all."
Oh, you said the word again.
Cody
twice in
Laboucaine.
one weird.
He about passed
Wow.
out right there.
Twice
Does
in
that like
one
take
year.
a year off your life?
Yeah, I heard it. I would like to see. Dang, because they've already done Appalachia and Fallout 76, which, you know what? I say scrap Fallout 76 and make a new one in Appalachia that's not Fallout 76. Because they've already done DC, they've already done Boston, they've done Nevada. Well,
Does it have to-
California would be a cool one. They haven't really.
Does it
done
have to
one
be
in
the States?
California. It doesn't have to
Yeah.
be.
Like
Yeah,
Hawaii or-
segue into my stories, Tony. Do
But,
it.
Yep.
but
Yep.
what? Oh, that's your story.
That's
Good
actually
job.
my story. Is that the creator of Fallout, Todd Howard, said he won't ever leave the United States.
Hang on now. He's not the creator of Fallout.
Well, my imagination does.
Oh, sorry.
He Fallout was created, had 3 games before Bethesda took them.
He's the
But-
chief of Bethesda.
But I get what you're saying. Yeah, and he says he wants it to stay in America.
Hawaii.
That's my
Let's do
story.
Hawaii. Come on.
He says the mysteries surrounding the other countries and what's happening over there makes the show more fun, or makes the series more fun.
I'm fine with it staying in the U.S. I mean, the country's massive. So,
I want it to be, even though, I haven't even played it or watched it, I want it to go to Minneapolis and like the Mall of America to be like
Oh, that'd be
extra
cool.
DLC.
Can we
that
do
would
just get
Canada?
lost.
Is Canada on the table?
Yeah, that's just a little America.
America's hat.
Yeah, it's America's hat.
America's hat.
What's
I like that a
Mexico
lot.
then?
I'm
America's.
codpiece.
You're going to get yourself in trouble, Owen.
What?
Careful.
It's a necessary
Warning.
piece. It's a necessary piece of the armor. I'm just saying.
Most important.
I mean,
in some aspects.
Exactly, my friend. That's an honor to be my codpiece.
That's the quote. That's the quote right there.
There's the title. It's an honor to be my codpiece.
It's an honor. You should be honored.
All right, fearless leader Owen. In your benevolence, you have stated.
That's right.
Cool. Well, thanks for writing in. Is that 3? Did we do all 3?
Yeah, that's
There you go. Okay. Did you want to add anything else to your story, Lando, about Fallout being in
Nope. That I think we
Todd
covered
Howard? Okay, cool.
Pretty good.
Let's see. There is also
More
some other
Fallout
Fallout
news.
news. Yeah. So Fallout 4 big next gen, which is current gen update,
Current gen.
actually came out, and it's 14 gigabytes large, and it doesn't really do anything besides break stuff.
Oh,
Classic Bethesda style.
It
break
just
stuff like
it recycled the gigabytes.
break stuff
Yeah.
like in game, or like break stuff with your data, or break stuff with the console.
Well, it
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Take your pick. So on PC, the biggest problems that it has on PC is just that it didn't actually address any of the issues, the long-standing issues that Fallout 4 has had on the PC. Things like you still can't play above 60 frames per second without breaking the game. You still have to have that limitation in place. The weapon debris graphics setting still causes the game to crash on RTX graphics cards, and that's been ever since RTX graphics cards came out, so like 5 or 6 years ago. Does not introduce any graphical improvements on the PC. On the PS5, to their credit, it does do some graphical improvements on the PS5. On the Xbox, though,
Good.
they have quality or performance, which is supposed to be, better graphics, 30 frames per second, or less good graphics, 60 frames per second. But that's broken on the Xbox. The company that owns Bethesda now, the hardware doesn't ever change. You toggle it on and off, and it just stays at 60 frames per second performance.
Egg on your
mode,
face, Phil.
Yeah. And so the other problem is it busted a whole bunch of mods that have been available for Fallout 4 for years. The game's almost 10 years old. And so there's, hundreds, if not thousands of mods for this game. And this update basically screws those up.
And your
So-
saves, right? And your if you have save
have-
data with a mod in
with
there,
a mod in there,
it breaks
messes
that
up your
save data.
save. Yep.
Yeah.
So
No.
which that can
How
be
is it?
just catastrophic, right?
yeah. And so this is it is just a massively
Like I can handle a lot of
large
things, but
failure.
if Baldur's Gate broke my save, I don't know that I'd start the game over again. Like that's a messing with your save data. Come on, that sucks.
Yeah. So apparently they did fix a few things, like a long running glitch in the settlement system that would show wrong resource counts or destroyed settlements. So they did fix that.
Was that crucial?
Well, I mean, it is annoying if you play it because the settlement system in and of itself is annoying. So this adds extra annoyance because it means they'd be bothering you more for stuff that actually isn't broken in their settlement. But yeah, so it's just a big old turd pile of a release from Bethesda.
Boo.
So that's too bad. Now they got to fix their fix, and I don't
Just
hold your breath. It's gonna be
Just
a
go
while.
go watch the show while we fix this.
Yeah, exactly. Which you should though, because that show's
Which
so
it's
good.
actually really good. Walter Goggins.
Super
Oh
good.
my gosh,
It's
he's
so
good.
good.
I mean,
I
I'm like
will.
I'm
no,
like Cody.
no
I started.
Bethesda jank in that show either.
That's right. This is the one. It was the one thing they did a poor translation of the game from to the TV show was there's no jank. It's not accurate.
This
There's no
isn't any.
jank.
This is unwatchable.
That's
It's not
right.
like the original at all.
Where's the jank? So,
Bethesda
but
Jank is a great band name, though.
the
like
funniest
that.
thing to me about Bethesda is they rode the goodwill of gamers for a long time because their games were unique and interesting enough that the bugs were easier to overlook.
Yep.
But it's been happening for so long now that that goodwill's gone, and
Become
so
just who they are, a reputation.
yep, they've got a bad reputation now for good reason. So, all right, let's talk about. Oh, I mean, Everyone loves to hear Owen announce the new Game Pass game.
Oh yeah! Here we go. I don't know who put this on my. I don't know who put this under my notes, but I'm taking it. And let me tell you, there is some bangers coming out in May. Let me just
I'm
jump.
so into this.
Let me jump right in. Okay, first up, we've got Kona 2 Broom. With a U.
Huh? What's that?
That is a game.
Oh.
Yep. That's going to be coming out.
All right.
This game is a game that you're going to play if you're really into like Gold Rush. There's a rural mining village in northern Canada, 1970, and it's a first-person narrative.
You're just reading the description.
I read it in different order though. I switched the sentence. So
Tony, it's
Yeah.
great. Don't
Yeah.
bother him.
Don't break the creative process. Then here's my favorite: Little Kitty, Big City. Now you know what I'm gonna say about this. Sounds like a coming of age story, right? I mean, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
We
You
got
know,
a spray
Careful,
bottle to spray you with.
careful.
I think you know what I'm saying. Yeah, everybody knows. Well, it's not quite as. I mean, I don't know what the tension is there, but it's about a cat trying to find its way home. So
Does it like get into prostitution or something?
no,
Like,
I don't. You don't know.
Wow,
I think
Jared.
I think that's just about. I think you got to play it to find out, my guy. The last
free.
one. The last one is also maybe a coming of age story. It's called A Tale of Two Sons.
Actually,
So-
that one is I think that one is actually kind of a coming of age story.
Well, there you go. It's a beautiful and
A
unique
little bit.
twin stick adventure brimming with imagination. So there you go. Oh, and Tomb Raider's coming out. The definitive edition is coming out on May 2nd. So if you want to go
That's been out
climb
for
up,
a long time.
yeah, if it's the definitive edition though, Tony.
Still
So
been
it's-
out for a long
Def-
time.
it's-
Wait.
They're just
Definitive
bring-
of which edition
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the
of
way,
Tomb of which
They're
one?
they're just bringing it on to Game Pass for you to play. It's
Oh yeah. Oh, by the
old
way, and I
game
think
coming back.
Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons is coming. It's returning to Game Pass. This is bizarre. I thought it was a one-way street that we used them, abused them, threw them out. We never talked to them again. And if you wanted it, you would buy it after that. I thought that was the point of Game Pass, where it was like, test it, but test it while the tasting's good, and then you have to
They
buy
start
it.
going back in once in a while.
Is this
Well,
the
there you go.
remake version or the original?
I don't think it's the remake.
I think it's
Yeah, this is the original release date.
yeah,
2013.
yeah, the definitive edition. So
Oh, cool.
like it reads. So,
No, that's Tomb Raider.
That's
the
Tomb
definitive edition.
yeah.
We're talking about
Oh,
Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons.
A Brother of Tale of Two. Yeah, it's probably the one you think it is. So
Okay. That's helpful. Thank you, Owen.
yeah.
All right.
There you
Classic.
go.
Great job, Owen. Okay, moving along.
Boom.
It was amazing. I
There you
loved
go.
every moment of it.
Oh man.
Don't
pra-
ever
I-
change.
I practiced that many times
I
today.
could tell. It showed. Yeah, it showed. All right. Speaking of new games, Jaren, tell us a little bit about No Rest for the Wicked, the latest from the company that brought us the Ori games.
This is Moon Studios. I loved the Ori games, both of them.
This Will o' the Wisps or
Will of the
they were-
Wisps
they
is
were
one
good
of
games.
Yeah, Will of the Wisps is like one of my favorite. I think it's
Yeah.
my favorite Metroidvania ever made.
Really? More than Hollow Knight?
Oh, I did not. I bounced off of Hollow Knight. I could not get in a Hollow Knight for whatever reason. I'm not saying it's a bad game. It's just I couldn't get into it.
Like it's for me. It's like Hollow Knight, Ori, like 1
Yeah.
and 2.
Yeah, yeah. Hollow Knight, its art style seems just kind of boring to me.
Really? I love. Okay. Teach their own. You're wrong, but teach their own.
Okay. Anyway, so No Rest for the Wicked is their newest game. It's an ARPG, so Diablo-like, but they mashed it with a Dark Souls-like game as well. So it's a Diablo-like Souls-like game.
Well, it definitely doesn't play like Diablo. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's top-down view like Diablo, and
It's isometric like Diablo, but
Yeah.
it plays like
you talk to people, and you can.
like a slash game, hack and slash.
It plays very much like a Souls game where it's very hard, and you have to rely very much on parries and dodging and all that stuff. Anyway, I've put 4 to 5 hours into it. It's in early access right now, only on Steam. So it's not a full-on review just because the game isn't out yet. It's a very well done game. The art style is amazing and very fun to play, very fun to explore. The fighting is very engaging and great. But I think there's some teething issues here.
It's early access.
Yeah, like mainly around inventory stuff. At first I thought, oh, this inventory management's fine, but it's actually not. Because there's a lot of resource gathering. You could like buy a house and decorate it and build, like do recipes, stuff like that.
That's the kind of stuff that I just do not care about in video games. Like creating a settlement or building a house or whatever. I'm just like, nah, who do I need to go fight next?
I haven't gotten to that part yet, but I have run across inventory problems. There's just not enough room to store your things, and your weapons degrade over time, which I know Tony hates.
I'm not a fan of that.
But you can repair them.
That's better.
Problem is, it costs you money to repair them.
Yeah, Minecraft.
And money is pretty scarce.
This feels too real.
So it feels like
second.
you can't really buy anything to upgrade your character because you're just focusing too much on gathering resources for health because you die a lot and getting money so that you can repair your weapons so that you can die
I just
more.
get into usage paralysis where I'm like, I won't use that weapon because it might break. So then I hold on to it because I don't have the money to repair it. So then I just keep it and look at it and be like, special occasions.
And then eventually you end up getting gear that's better than that.
Better. And then
But
I
it's
feel like I
like
have
a
to hold on to
lower
it.
quality
because-
tier. You know, like this is a purple level tier. I better not use it. And then a few hours later, you have like a green level tier that's more powerful than the purple one.
Yeah,
Now you have no
I'm like,
reason
I
to
never
even use
used
the
it.
purple
I
one.
never used it. I could have used that.
I really hope they change up those mechanics a little bit because if they strike the right balance there, it will be an amazing game. Totally recommendable. At this point, though, unless you really like resource gathering and grinding for money to repair your weapons,
That's not fun.
I think you said a phrase that I like there.
He loves the
there you
grind.
go.
Grinding
But
for
again,
money.
it is early access, so they are taking a lot of feedback right now and changing things. But there's the core of an extremely good game in there. So when it comes out on the consoles and gets out of early access, I think it's a game to keep your eye on.
I think Owen would spend all of his time spending his money repairing his cod piece when he can't use his weapons.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
that cod piece should feel honored.
Honored.
The cod piece named Mexico.
That's what I would. I'd be like,
Oh, Jaren just made
Another
a
good
list,
band
too.
name.
You're on Jiren's with. I knew Jiren's in Team Owen.
All right. Well, that describing that game segues into my story here about Elden Ring. So I have been playing Elden Ring for the last couple weeks,
Man, you're current on the new games, Tony.
and what am I? 21 hours in. I don't like it, but I can't stop playing it. So I guess I do like it. I don't know.
That's a
Something.
bad relationship.
Yeah,
100 hours from
That's
now,
what it is.
the Stockholm Syndrome will be complete, and you will be singing its praises.
Now, let me tell you, I do enjoy playing it. There are certain aspects of the game that are definitely top tier, and I can see why a lot of people like it. I wouldn't want to play it without the mod that I have that makes it so I don't lose all my runes after I die, which you use your runes to upgrade your character and stuff like
That
that.
makes it so much better.
Yeah. So,
Wait a second. It has to have a mod to be playable. That's coming from Jaren.
yep.
Oh,
Very weird,
okay.
very weird, right? So,
What a time to be alive.
I love mods.
anyway, you love mods, but not when
He doesn't.
not
it
when they're
doesn't seem
required
like-
to make the game good.
Yeah.
And this is one of those. If you ask me, I think it was a terrible design choice to have all of your runes are basically your XP. That's what your runes equate to. It's the money in the game and the XP. So you use it to buy things, but you also use it to upgrade your character when you rest. And so the fact that it has a system where you can lose all of that if you die and can't get back to that place, you get one shot. If you don't have this mod, you can get back to where you lost the runes and collect your runes again. But if you don't and you die again, say goodbye to those runes.
Oh.
But this mod fixes that. And now that aside, man, the artwork, the art in this game is phenomenal.
It's awesome.
It is quite good.
Does it feel tainted by George R. R. Martin's like touch on it, or
there's so little story in this game.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That you don't notice the germ in there.
So Destiny 2 versus Elden Ring story, which is more
Destiny 2
approachable
is easier to follow for sure. Without question. So what I was saying though is I wish the technical team could keep up with the art team in the game, because graphically it's okay. It's fine. It's nothing special. But art-wise, it is very special.
It's phenomenal.
Detailed, right?
It is, yeah. It is.
Like
It is phenomenal.
the different biomes and
Yeah.
everything's just so arted up.
There's a
and
sense of scale.
interesting.
There's a sense of scale in that game that I have rarely seen before.
Like the way I played the game, like, oh, that looks interesting. I'll go over there.
That's
and
pretty much
on repeat for 120 hours.
Yeah, and that's why I find myself going back to it, because once you get the combat down, it is fun. It's hard, but it's fun. And then it's just what's over here, what's over there. Skyrim, Bethesda wishes they could do half as good at the art that Elden Ring does, and be half as good at making a game that fills you with the desire to explore the map. Like that's how, and I loved Skyrim. Don't get me wrong. I had a great time with that game and I played the crap out of it. Elden Ring is that much better as far as making you want to explore things and the art style. So, yeah, I'm having a blast, to be frank. And I guess
is it on sale yet?
Occasionally I think I paid like $32 for it, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it.
Yeah,
it'll go on sale fairly regularly for like 45-ish.
Normally 60.
Yeah, 60 normally. So I guess I'm eating a little crow on this one. It surprised me that I am enjoying it as much as I am.
Yeah,
And I railed
that's
against
right.
it for a long time, but my criticisms I think still stand. I think it's got that rune piece is a bad design choice, and technically it does stutter at times, and that's really frustrating, especially if I'm in the middle of a fight. Doesn't happen very often, maybe twice per playthrough.
Hey, spend like 2 minutes with Jedi Survivor and then
I'm
get
not
back
even
to me.
No,
Yeah,
not
that's
even
what
gonna
you
do. It. Not even gonna
Yeah.
do it. So anyway, there you go. Enjoying Elden Ring. Okay, let's talk Switch 2 rumors.
So, as I was trying to get some more stories other than, stuff for help desk, I came across this from, I believe it's Ars Technica, on a lot of little tidbits from a manufacturer in China.
ARS
And
Technica. No, Owen, it's not ARS Technica. For the
I got this article
Thought you
from
let that
a
slide.
site, and I'll just leave it at that then. And
Thank you.
the little tidbits that they had in it were about the controllers. They were rumoring, and I'll completely start all this with it, having an extra button middle of the Joy-Con. So both the bumpers, but now it has a back button that they're supposedly putting in for the new Switch.
Okay.
They also talked a lot about having a larger cartridge for this Switch 2, which when I had read that, it made complete annoying sense, because they did that with GameCube games for the Wii and Wii U and all of those. It's exactly what Nintendo does. And because if you have the bigger plug in, you can still plug in the other older cartridges, but the bigger cartridges won't be able to go on the original Switch.
Right.
So those are the current rumors, which I thought were interesting, and
So it's
yeah.
they're saying it's according to this rumor, it is going to be 100% backwards compatible
It would be
If you-
amazing.
all
If you
your
bought
Switch.
if you bought the games, right?
with all your digital too. I would assume.
Oh,
Why would
right.
they? Why would they
Digital
allow?
kind of makes sense, but the
why would
cartridges
they
is what
allow
they pointed out.
Yeah, why
They'll
would
allow
they
you
allow
to rebuy it.
cartridge backwards compatibility, but not allow your digital purchases? If they're going to do one, they're going to do both. So
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of interesting and made a lot of sense for, what it obviously could be.
I thought it was interesting too where this rumor came from. A company in China that makes accessories for gaming systems, and they're like, "Hey, we got this information."
Yep.
Yeah.
So
It's all
So yeah, all fun
contrived.
rumors. Yep.
Yep. We'll hopefully see more on that before too long here, even though it seems like every time you hear another rumor about the system, it's getting delayed further, even though it hasn't actually been announced. It's always like, well, it might be a mid-year 2025 now.
Yeah.
We'll see. Cool. All right. Let's see. What? Everyone loves a little game of chance, right, Owen? A little bit of that.
Wouldn't you like to go spend some real dollars betting on arcade games? Well, now you can. You can go to Dave and Buster's, and you can bet on games like friendly wagers. What do they call it? They can't use it betting. They call it. We use real money contests or challenges.
Challenges.
But basically, you can like hoops. Like the arcade game where you're throwing the hoops and you got side by side competition. You can bet on that now, like $5-10.
You could do it before. You just put a $5 bill down.
You just did it. Yeah. Well, now you
I
can
bet
do it
you
with
$5. I score higher than you.
Now you don't have to do that. You don't have to worry about those basketball sharks. You can do it all on the up and up through an app.
Through an app?
Through an app. And that way they can gamify it and give you in-store credits. I assume it's in-store credits. I'm assuming that you pay into this app and convert your real money into Dave and Buster money.
This sounds like creepy people watching. Like, is it like guys that can't do the game well are just going to sit back in the lobby and like, watch this kid kick his dad's butt at basketball?
Like,
is that what it is?
That's a great question. Can you bet on it without the participants knowing? Can you be like, see those losers over there? I bet you that kid wins.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, my money's on that one-armed kid. Sorry to all the one-armed kids out there. I love you.
Oh boy.
Owen has offended countries, disabled people, disabled children.
Mexico.
Not going great. It's not going great. But yeah, so you can bet, you can buy this company called Lucra is the name. They've partnered with Dave and Buster's. So you can bet on arcade games. They mention the basketball game type of stuff, like sports, but also any arcade game, like Mortal Kombat. Like you can. It's like
Dance?
Yeah, maybe
DDR.
Who knows?
Yeah,
like I bet that kid falls on his face. Probably because he only has one leg.
I was going to say there's a one-legged joke in there somewhere.
I couldn't resist.
He got it.
He got it.
wow.
Oh, guys, feels good. Feels good to be back.
He's alive.
Feels good to be back. I am who I am, and it's not great.
All right, Popeye.
So,
Well, we'll see how this develops, and maybe we'll have to make a field trip to Dave and Buster's one of these days once it rolls out.
play some of that Halo Raven again, and maybe play some Mortal Kombat. Just bet who wins.
Indeed.
So,
all right. Well, that actually goes into betting on fighting games. That dovetails right into Lang's other story about fighting games.
Nice.
Again, Lang loves fighting games. So last time I was on, we were talking about that. And this last weekend, Japan Evo happened, and it was a lot of fun to see some of the results, some of the highlights. And I loved it because I'm a Street Fighter fan, and somebody won with Blanca, the classic green, right?
Classic.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's a rare feat on its own. And while I was
No, he
reading
just
some
spam
of
the button
episodes-
and he does
spam the electrical, right?
No, not
Come on.
Sharon, that was 20 years ago, bud. There's more moves now.
There's ways around it now.
No,
there's
you defeat
so many
everyone
things right now.
doing that.
Yeah, there's no other moves. Blanca doesn't have any other moves. I'm pretty
So, as I was looking through some of the news updates and everything, I was seeing the giant pay the prize checks, right? And right off the bat, I saw one that said 1 million. I was like, oh, hold
Dollars
up, wait a minute.
or yen?
That's what I didn't notice. So it was yen. And when you put it in, 1 million yen is only, what was it? I think it's $8,000.
$8,000? What?
Yeah. I think maybe it's a little bit about that. I got to redo my decimals probably.
I'm looking at it
Double
right
check.
now.
I think it's eight something. What was it?
Okay, so 1 million yen
Is
5, 6, Less.
That's not a good-
$6,300.
Yeah, that
63.
is not-
Okay.
That's not a good rate.
So
exchange
no,
rate.
so it made me kind of start going down a rabbit hole with fighting games and tournaments in general because League of Legends is the biggest prize and has been for a lot of years. Back in 2018, it said, and I think I put this in the show notes.
Yeah, their
20
prize pool is
14 million was at when it's at its peak.
That's
Last year,
crazy.
but here's the interesting thing. Last year, Jaren, get ready. I need your accounting skills. So
Nice.
last year it was 7 million.
That's a
This
lot
year
less.
it's only 260,000.
What? Has League
Yeah,
of Legends fallen
huge.
that much?
It's not so much that the
popularity?
game. No, it's the tournaments. The tournaments get so big that the bigger prizes don't have a lot of longevity. If they're smaller prizes, for whatever reason, the smaller kind of just meh prizes go longer. Evo in Las Vegas later on this year in July, if I read it right, I think it's 30,000 for the prize, which is
What?
eh.
But hang on, though. We're only in April of 2024. Will that
So there's
change
Evo
as the year
Japan.
goes on?
No, because they set everything up months and months and months in advance.
wow.
Yeah, and I think it's either 30,000 a person or a 1 million prize split up in between all the different winners. So it comes
Jeez.
out to around 30,000. So Evo's been going for a very long time, and it's probably going to keep going because the last time I was on, I explained how they rotate through a lot of old games. Evo Japan this last time had Street Fighter Alpha 3, like Third Impact, which is a very old game and a great fighting game, but they still rotate it through. So I just thought those numbers and money was interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So go play some fighting games. Come on, Lando, come play.
I'm with Jaren on this one. They're just kind of boring.
I don't think they're
Oh.
boring.
I didn't say that.
I just
Don't drag me into this.
They're not my cup of tea.
He's awake,
How about
everybody.
that? I am
my mouth.
awake. I'm listening.
I
Got
just
nothing to
can't,
add.
I can't do the combos like I just
Like you used to do.
I
Killer
just suck
Instinct,
at
come
'em.
on. Killer
No.
Instinct. Oh,
So bad.
combo breaker.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Jaren, tell us about you have a review. Oh, save this for next week. Okay, never mind. Then talk about your thoughts on AMD's new driver level frame interpolation.
It is called AMD Fluid Motion Frames, and this is like DLSS 3, but it works on any game that is DirectX
I think
11
or
and 12,
Yeah.
or Vulkan, I believe. Anyway, this was enabled on the ROG Ally this last week, and I was very excited to give this a whirl, so I did.
So I did.
It sucks. It blows.
Wow.
AMD doesn't understand the point of anything that gamers want, okay? So what it does is it interpolates your frames and injects new frames, so it can theoretically turn a 60 FPS game to a 120 FPS game. But in practice, it doesn't do well at all. This is different than FSR3, which has to be implemented by developers into the game itself,
Right.
where they use like vector data as well as other stuff to figure out how to inject frames. Fluid motion frames is on the driver level, so you can just turn it on. And so it only works when the motion is slow. As soon as the motion becomes fast, it turns off.
So mouse and keyboard games are
No, mouse and
Out.
keyboard games are out. Any game is out of the question, except for maybe ARPGs, which I'll get into later. So I've tried it on third-person games, first-person shooters. If you're walking slowly, it works, and everything looks smooth.
hooray.
But as soon as you turn the camera or start running, your frame rate goes from like 90 FPS to 40 FPS. And do you know what's worse than frame drops? Big frame drops.
yeah. Well, you mean what's worse than a low frame rate is big frame rate changes.
Yeah, that too.
So noticeable.
Yes. And so you're going like smooth. Oh, this is jank. And when it turns into jank is when the action picks up, when you're like moving around and stuff.
No
you need
fun.
it the most.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought, oh, maybe this would be better on a side scroller because the camera view is static, and it should be okay. So I tried it on a side scroller, and it was a game that was capped at 60 FPS. Like in engine, it wouldn't go past 60 FPS, and it indeed made it go up to 120. And the character animation was smooth, but everything else, like all of the stuff in the background, it started like clipping and was wobbly.
Oh, weird.
So I would choose 60 FPS any day over like wobbly graphics. So then I tried it on ARPG, No Rest for the Wicked, which I just talked about. And this game is extremely heavy. On the ROG Ally, I'm getting like around 35 FPS on the lowest settings at 1080p. And so I turned it on, and for some reason it made it not as smooth. I don't know if it was frame pacing that was messed up, but even though the frame rate was higher, it looked less smooth. It didn't dip though, because it's isometric, top down. The camera doesn't really move. In every regard, to me, it's a failure, and I don't know why AMD even put this out in the world. No one use it. Maybe someday in the future it will get better. I'd rather have like visual artifacts than the frame rate, than it just turning off and the frame rate tanking.
Yeah.
So maybe they can make it so it's more customizable in the future. So people who don't care about the visual artifacts, if it were on a big screen, yeah, I wouldn't want visual artifacts. But if it's like on a tiny handheld, like what I was using, it wouldn't be as noticeable. So I hope it changes in the future. Right now, just don't even bother turning it on, people out there. So there you go.
Is this just on the ROG Ally? If they had an AMD graphics card, one of the higher end ones, and the whole
It's on any AM. It's on actually, yeah, any AMD graphics card.
Any AMD graphics card, 6000 series,
RDNA 2 and above.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think maybe it performs better with a higher end GPU?
No, because it's all software.
No.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah, it wasn't
Indeed.
like the performance of it. It was the just functionality of
The
it.
limitations that
The
they baked
limitations,
into it
yeah.
basically sound like they just didn't do it right.
Ugh.
All right, 2 more stories, and we're gonna call it a day. They're quick ones too, so get your story ready, Owen. The Roblox story, and then in the meantime, Hasbro wants to keep that gravy train rolling. Hasbro, in case you didn't know, owns Wizards of the Coast, which owns the D&D stuff.
D&D stuff, which is huge right now because of
Baldur's Gate 3
just
and the movie.
opened the door. Yeah.
I love the movie.
So this last year they had Baldur's Gate 3, and actually they own. I mean, they're like a century-old company. They own things like Monopoly and stuff like that too. So Monopoly Go came out last year. I think that's for mobile devices, and that was a
Monopoly.
That was a big moneymaker for them last year as well. And they've said specifically that they are going big time forward with more video games and video game things.
Did Larian sell them Baldur's Gate?
No. Larian licensed Baldur's Gate from them.
Oh, okay.
So they have stated that they've got 4 AAA studios right now working on projects for them, and about $1 billion worth of investment in video games right now. And that is
Baldur's Gate showed that there's a market for it, right? For the choose your own adventure and the role, like
they did, but
skill based.
But hopefully they recognize that the reason that game is so successful is because Larian made it a great game.
Of course they don't recognize that.
No.
All executives think, oh, our properties are the special ones.
Yeah.
They will make money.
The studio has nothing to do with it, just the mechanics.
So hopefully what they're investing $1 billion into games being developed right now, and hopefully it goes well. So they did say what they are working on. They're making a Snake Eyes G.I. Joe game. This is a quote.
Yay!
Not your daddy's G.I. Joe.
What does that mean?
What does that even mean?
That sounded dark.
And then they have a studio making a Dungeons and Dragons game, another Dungeons and Dragons game. They didn't say what kind it is, though. Another studio that is making something spooky was what he said. Doing something spooky. And then fourth studio, the studio's named Archetype. It's got some BioWare veterans working for them, and they're working on a brand new franchise called Exodus. And they're excited for this one because they think it's going to be awesome. And it's going backwards from their usual direction of things, where they have property that they want to make a video game out of, and instead right here they're starting with the video game, and then they hope it's successful and they can turn it into other merchandising.
Gosh, I like that.
Stuff.
That's how games used to be.
I need my tinfoil cowboy hat on real quick.
Put that tinfoil hat on.
Yeah,
Love that.
So,
it's
because
been a
I
while.
am
feels good.
Yep. Since I'm a big toy collector, I think they have to do that for the younger generation. With Hasbro, all they've done is make tons of collector age related, like for me, like I said, on Transformers.
Selling
They've
nostalgia,
done
right?
tons. Yeah, they've done tons of Transformers Generation 1 stuff. If you didn't see the original series, you wouldn't know them. G.I. Joe, they do classified series that are $30-$40 a pop, brand new, like Marvel Legends, but for G.I. Joe.
Right.
And then they do all the HasLab stuff. Have you guys ever heard of that?
Nope.
No.
It's their crowdfunding for bigger projects. Like, Tony, I think you heard of, to name drop, Egg Foo got a giant Unicron, the giant Transformer.
Yep.
That was a crowdfunding that they did that I think it started out at $700,
Yeah,
but they had to crowdfund it in order to make it. So they're pushing all the collectors like me, go to the crowdfunding and the collectibles, but nobody under 12 is going to want that stuff for Christmas or like enjoy it or appreciate it. Yeah. And so I think, they have to do it with online stuff so they can pull them in.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And they know what market of people has the money.
Yeah.
Like you can see that. You'll see our generation. You're going to see Transformers, He-Man. You're going to see all that stuff come back. G.I. Joe. Oh, yeah. Wow. Another G.I. Joe game. Like, of course we're going to get it. It's our generation, right? They know who has the money right now.
We love our Memba berries.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, there you go. We'll see if anything comes of these games. It was a little bit interesting later on in the article. They talk about how Hasbro Interactive has been around since the 90s. And at one point, they actually owned Atari.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Really?
And then they were like, never mind.
After the gaming business hit a rough patch, they sold it to Infogrames. Which is defunct now as well. So
you guys want to do what? You guys want to make what now? Hats? Yeah, we're gonna let you go.
Oh, this was way before the speaker hats.
I don't know. It's probably been on his idea board for a while. You know,
It just took a while to bring to fruition.
Once speakers don't weigh 20 pounds, I'm putting them in a hat.
Put that in the hat.
The American dream.
That's right. Yep. All right, O-Dog, final story. Let's talk about Roblox.
We love our Roblox around here in these parts. And I've ranted about Roblox. We've talked about it. It is predatory towards children.
It's awful.
They let you convert real money to Robux. But get this, they're teaming up with Walmart. Now you can get on a laptop in the game. So you log in to your experience. There's thousands of Roblox experiences. You may now connect an in-game laptop to a real-world store.
Oh, no.
To order real things from Walmart that will be shipped to you.
So can you convert your Robux to
Of course.
Walmart stuff?
What's Roblox's?
What's the exchange rate? Like 1,000 to 1? I think.
Yeah, exactly.
So bad.
How many Stanley nickels for one?
Exactly. Exactly. So now they're selling things like aluminum tumblers, drinks, and headphones, and they're all just straight from Temu, or Wish. These are Wish. These are Wish.
From China.
This is just Wish stuff that they're like, what do we do with all this? What if we give it to stupid kids? And so now
with one arm
or leg. Let's not be biased.
I wasn't gonna,
or maybe both. I don't know.
I wasn't gonna back that bus up, but Jaron sure did.
Yeah, I did.
So Now, this is just one more reason, by the way, parents out there, if you have your kids and you've saved your payment information in Roblox,
no.
for any reason, just know now they actually get a physical item that they can get from Walmart. Walmart's like, man, they seem to be capitalizing on manipulating children.
Oh, and I think you need to do homework and see what items they have on there.
I did. What they have
you
a
did look.
tumbler. They got headphones. They got tumbler. What else they got?
Crochet bag.
Crochet bag. Oh, everybody wants one of those.
Shh! Don't you dare say that out loud. My wife hears that. Oh.
Do you think it's? Do you think it's
loves crochet?
ethically? Do you think it's ethically sourced yarn? I bet you it's not.
No.
I'm just saying. So maybe there's. Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is. But they've got ONN.
That's Walmart's
Bluetooth
brand.
headphones. Yeah. So there you go.
Does not feel right. That does not feel right.
No, this is
So-
icky. This feels icky.
It's very
just-
icky.
Like now you can just have real. Now they can go from real money to digital dollars in game, back to spending real money to get physical crap in their room.
Okay, I'm gonna. Oh, this is gonna feel
Why
gross.
don't
I'm gonna
why
play-
don't they just take that money, not convert it through Roblox or Robux,
Go to
and just
Walmart.com
go to
and
Walmart
buy-
and buy it there? I bet
Right?
you get it for cheaper.
because Walmart is also icky.
That's true too.
Don't you devil?
Here, I'm gonna play-
Don't you devil?
I am. Here we go. Here we go. So here we
Kick
go.
him right now.
So we order our groceries from Walmart. They're delivered, so we don't ever have to go in the store, and it's lovely.
Now you won't have to leave Roblox to order your groceries.
No, but here's the thing. I can. We're using this cute little money system for my boys, 10 and under. I got 10, 6, and 4. If I could, because my 10-year-old has done Roblox, if I could say, hey, here's some money, you better save it up. And then he kind of takes the responsibility to save up for something and try to learn something. I can see that justification, but it's still
Yeah.
icky.
Well,
There's
There's
we
still
as a company-
natural ways of doing that. That
we
doesn't
as a
involve.
Yeah, we use a
Roblox.
company called Greenlight, and you have complete control. They get their own debit card.
I was
They
gonna
can
say,
go
I use
online,
that too.
and we
Yep.
load it, we see it, we approve it. Like there's way better ways than sending it to Roblox.
Oh, I know, but
where,
we have plenty of stuff too. It's just that one I can kind of see how
I just-
it could work.
yeah, it's just because no parent can regulate all of their kids' playtime. You just can't. Like, if you've ever tried, you know that you just can't keep up with
Yeah,
it. They're
it's
voracious. It's impossible. They always want to play. You can't always be like, "What are you playing? Who you talk to? What game?" Especially
Yes,
in
you can.
Roblox, because well, yeah, but you could set ratings. But the easiest way is just saying no digital, no electronics. But
you're all out of screen time.
yeah, so but it's just I don't know. I just feel like this is more. I feel like something's going to happen. There'll be a lawsuit that comes up where they're like, this was, entrapment. Like children were thought, oh, I didn't know this was going to actually ship, and order $1,000 worth of stuff for some unknowing parent that has
Put their
erroneously put
credit
their
card
credit card
information.
into Roblox.
Yeah, but that's on the parent, not so much.
I don't know.
Yeah, but there's some
Apple
dumb parents out there.
Apple refunded it, right? Like when Fortnite got crazy and you could buy
Most of it.
skins.
Sometimes they
Yeah.
didn't though.
But
Yeah.
if you could prove that your kid went and spent some kids are spent like 10 grand. And
Yeah,
Apple
there's
was
a
like,
refund. There's a
okay.
refund versus a lawsuit, though.
Yeah.
The refunds I can see.
Yeah. We'll see. Roblox doesn't seem like the people that do refunds. They seem like the people
No.
that tell you it's your fault. And so I see lawsuits in the future.
We'll have to follow this story as it develops and things go forward on it. So, all right. Well, that is it for this episode. We have reached the end of Geek Show Arcade for today. Before we go, though, big shout out to our awesome Patreon backers, patreon.com/helpdeskarcade. Thank you so much for supporting our little show. And for those of you that donate $6 a month or more, you get a shout out on the air, which Jaron has for us right now.
Thank you to David Broshinsky, Connor Keesaw, and Wiffaball Tony, Jason Eatman, Keonda Cardinal. I'm Halo Onyx. How about you?
Challenge.
Andy Bird, be the 8-year-old, Tony the Home Theater Geek. Travis Johnson, buy Geek Show Arcade Help Desk stickers at Pieman Graphics on Etsy. All proceeds go to Lee George Cade's medical bills. Jeremy, No Name of Color, Keslow, Eric Steinman, Eric Cruz, the in-between rating +6, Matt Nelson, Harry Patch, Adam, Aaron Faulkner, Stuart Lloyd. History is there for you to learn from or repeat your choice. Ryan M. and Adam Hecht.
All right. Thank you
Thanks.
so much.
You guys are awesome.
You guys are awesome. Okay, thanks for joining us, Lang.
My pleasure.
And we will see all y'all's next week. But until then, Owen, take us out.
Hey, we hope you care.